Now you're listening to wrestling news that matters from people you want to hear it from, deep from within the confines of the internet. Covering WWE like no one else and covering TNA because no one else will. You are listening to the best in the world, Ring Rust Radio!
Brad Maddox. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
For another special edition of Ring Rust Radio's top fucking 10 something of the month.
We need something better than that.
It's not great.
This is not a good start.
We're brainstorming it, and it's not great here. Here's the thing. Here's my problem now.
What's your problem?
We take a week off. We play a bracket, often not wrestling related. You're not doing wrestling related content. Why? You're not doing wrestling related content. Why? I don't care about soda brands. Why? Right? And then I come out here, I'm like, okay, we listen to feedback. We're not monsters, so we're gonna do a couple top 10s. We're gonna take.
Fucking like this shit.
No, we did it already. They're crying about that.
Wait, why did they cry about this?
I like these. Actually.
These aren't evergreen content. Let me take off. You guys have celebrated. You guys celebrated 700 episodes with a throwaway episode.
Maybe they should fucking support us.
We did.
I like these episodes more than the other episodes.
Yeah, I like talking about old wrestling more than new wrestling because new wrestling
100%
fucking frustrates me, and I have to analyze it like I'm fucking.
I just think these are fun topics.
I don't see how you could be a wrestling fan and be like, oh, I don't want this. I don't like it.
When I listen to other podcasts, these are the things that I prefer than them just like talking about the news.
Guess what?
We all know
what's
happening in fucking wrestling right now.
You know what I realized? YouTube, Facebook, or the Ring Rust Radio Facebook page has fucking turned on us, is what it is. I'm not even sure they listen to the show.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not even sure they listen to the show. I'm not even sure I know they don't like us. But I
hey, Donnie.
What?
Well, ever since you showed up on the Facebook page, it's gone real downhill.
Here's the thing. I'm off again.
I always say I'm on the right side of history.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
That was entertaining.
I just show up and post my links now. I make fun of them and I leave. I'm not even showing up anymore for comments.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. Look at it's wrestling. You like that? And I smear it.
You like that?
For the record, I like almost everybody that is on the Facebook page.
I like some of them. Some of them are real fucking twats.
There's one person I don't like on the Facebook page, Donnie Wood.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I wasn't going to name names.
Anyways,
pooping on AEW, Andrew Sampson.
Doing top 10 lists because we got what we presume is Hell in a Cell coming up at Bad Blood.
Maybe not. We have no idea when this airs.
Right. But, so we're thinking, hey, but regardless, it's the anniversary of Hell in a Cell. And Kane debuted there, Hell in a Cell debuted there. So today we're going to do the top 10 best Hell in a Cell matches ever, and top 10 wrestling debuts ever. That's all companies, not just WWE.
Okay, Hell in a Cell, I went a little over the top. I watched a bunch of Hell in a Cell matches.
I started watching a bunch too, and there are a lot of really good ones.
I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, I forgot that the whole pay-per-view was Hell in a Cell.
I wish I could have had on this
list. Mike, same thing. I put 4 honorable mentions because I just needed to fucking have them on the list somewhere.
Well, I left a couple people off. There might be some bias involved. This works.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how this goes. So who wants to start with number 10?
Let's do it. You want me to start?
Yeah, we're going to have top 10 Hell in a Cell matches.
All right, do your honorable mentions.
All right. I have 4 honorable mentions. I'm going to take it with Triple H, WrestleMania 28.
Didn't have it on my list.
Yeah. Bayley vs. Sasha Banks, 2020.
We'll see.
Triple H vs. Batista, Vengeance 2005.
Nope.
This is where it got so tough, I had to move them down to honorable mention. The Usos versus the New Day.
Nope.
In 2017.
Incorrect.
I'll tell you this right now. more than one of those made my list.
Two
I
made my
believe it.
list.
It's tough.
Made my list. And neither of them had Triple H.
We know. Okay. I'll start with my number 10. The aforementioned, the Usos versus New Day, Hell in a Cell, 2017.
Mike?
I got
quick,
down
Mike,
to it.
Mike?
Hmm?
Considerably higher.
Okay.
It's an awesome match.
Here's the thing. I absolutely fucking love this match. There's so many good Hell in a Cell matches. Like, I got down to it. I'm like, man, because there's some I left off that I really wanted to be on here.
Yep.
And I I'll just mention a couple, like Armageddon 6-man, Hell in a Cell.
On my list. On my list.
Okay, I'm just saying. But, like, I felt like I had to put this one on here because it was the first of its kind. I mean, there were a couple tag team match Hell in a Cells, but they were ass. Like, this was the first great one. Probably the only great one to this day. The Usos and New Day. And it's part of one of, I think, all of our favorite tag team feuds of all time. Like, Usos and New Day were going at it for a better part of a year, probably more than that, having all kinds of different match types, unique matches that they typically did not put tag teams in, and they were killing it. Every single time they fucking had a match against each other, it was awesome, and this match was no different. This fucking ruled. It had to make my list. Put it at number 10.
Yep. I had it on my top 10 for a while. I mean, it could really change kind of any day. I just dropped it from my 10. Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Ass. Who was it?
Edge versus Seth Rollins from Crown Jewel.
Oof.
It's on my list.
Did not make my list.
I thought it was a phenomenal Hell in a Cell. Easily the best match of that show. I think it's one of the better Hell in a Cell matches of recent years. I think they did a good job of having it be a blow-off match and kind of calling back to previous matches. Thought the ending was great, so I put it on here. But I think, if you ask me tomorrow, it could be the Usos and New Day taking it over. It was tough.
Yeah, you waffle like an idiot. That's fine. It's great. My 10 is Bayley versus Sasha 2019.
Or 2020.
2020.
2020. Wait, everything?
Wow, great job.
I wrote 2019. I went back and I forgot how many Hell in a Cell matches happened for a short period there between 2016 and 2022.
There's so many.
Because it was like they just had 3 every time that pay-per-view came around, and then whatever else was around. So I had to go, because honestly I forgot most of them. The early ones, I probably watched a bunch of times. The more recent ones, covering the show especially, I definitely know I've watched, but they kind of blended together. So I mostly spent my time rewatching a bunch of those. And a couple really stood out to me. One was this Bayley-Sasha match, which was, for the Goyles, pretty good.
Because only good for girls?
Well, no, it's number 10 on my list. 10th best Hell in a Cell match ever, so it's good for anybody. But it was really good for the Goyles.
The match was awesome.
I will say this. I have it as my second best. I have it as my third best women's match in a Hell in a Cell.
To me, it was second.
How about that?
My number 9, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, Hell in a Cell 2020.
See, there you go. There you go.
So, like, Sasha had Hell in a Cell against Bayley, Hell in a Cell against Becky, Hell in a Cell against Charlotte.
Yep.
All
awesome.
And of those 3, I thought they were all great. I think this, to me, was the best one. So I put it at number 9. And also, I think a big part of it was the feud. Like, it was next level compared to the other 2. Like, Sasha and Bayley were fucking running shit in the women's division during the pandemic. Like, they were among the highlights. They carried it. Absolutely. And, like, them as a team was one of the best things probably in women's wrestling that we've seen in recent years. And then, they had the breakup and they had the big blow off with Sasha beating Bayley, for the title. So, I thought it was an awesome match with a great story, everything you could want.
Cool.
My number 9 that didn't make my original list. Then I was thinking about matches over the years. Like you said, Donnie, there's been so many that then they all start to blend in. But this one stood out in recent memory, and it's Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy from 2018. And at that time, this was one of my favorite feuds that year because they made a lot of things impactful. And this is when Randy Orton had Jeff Hardy kind of locked up in a hold, had a screwdriver, and he took it through Jeff Hardy's ear.
Oh,
twisted
yeah.
it all.
Yeah, that was great.
And Yeah, and Jeff Hardy, the ending, he climbs to the top of the cell and then tries to do a fucking frog splash on Orton on a table. Orton moves over. Jeff Hardy's all fucked up because he falls right in his face. Orton pins him. They bring the fucking stretcher out to get Jeff Hardy. So it was just such a well done Hell in a Cell. And considering we've seen so many Hell in a Cells over the years, when they do something creative like that, it really adds to it for me. And so that's why I had to put it on my list.
It did not make my list, but it was a great match. I was certain it would be on your list because I remember how much you loved it.
Yeah.
One of the things about that one is like Jeff for years was saying like the only fucking thing that he hadn't done that he wanted to do was be in a Hell in a Cell match, and he finally got to do it. So that's pretty cool too.
That's cool.
Okay, my 9 is Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, 2017. Do you remember this match?
Yeah.
I do. It was fun. It did not make my list. It wasn't really a consideration.
Super fun.
Is that when Sammy helps Kevin Owens?
Yes. Yep.
And Shane dives through the like.
I remember calling it beforehand and being hyped that I was right. But yeah, he like moved him out of the way.
That was an awesome match.
It was a great match. I went back and watched it, and I was way better than I remembered. Also, super hyped for him jumping off shit in AEW.
Hell yeah.
He didn't make McMahon to run AEW. How about that, Mike? Can you believe I said it? Yes, that's my number 9. Go ahead.
Okay. My number 8. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Hell in a Cell 2020.
Did not make my list.
I know. It didn't make you. This was fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. This is, it's not the typical thing you think of when you think of Hell in a Cell, with, fucking blood and all that kind of shit. But, it was a very deliberate type of match. But the storytelling in this match compared to basically any other Hell in a Cell match, second to none. Mm-hmm. This was very early on in the Roman Reigns Tribal Chief days. This was like really one of the things that it was a catalyst for it. Him kind of trying to make Jey fall in line. Jimmy Uso coming out and trying to stop Roman from fucking up Jey. After Roman wins and he solidifies himself as the Tribal Chief, Alpha and Sika putting the necklace on him. Like, so much cool shit, so much great storytelling. Like, this is like the very basis for the next few years of program that we got with Roman and the Bloodline. So I think it definitely deserves a spot on the list.
I'm just going to talk about it here. I have it. Yeah, I have it on my list. It is higher.
Say it.
It's number 5 on my list.
Oh, shit. Didn't make my fucking list.
That's fine. Top 5 for me because Roman Reigns has become such an important character in the grand scheme of the history of WWE, and Jey Uso has ascended, and they had a great match the month before that really kind of opened some eyes about Roman Reigns and the character they were building, but this is what really set everything in motion. This was such a pivotal match in the past 4 years for this company, and it catapulted the entire Bloodline storyline. Jey Uso having to quit, Jimmy coming out and getting fucking choked out, then Roman gets crowned as Tribal Chief. I mean, it's one of the greatest storylines in the history of WWE as far as I'm concerned. It's my favorite current storyline. It's one of my favorite characters that they built over the years. And the work that Roman Reigns has done in improving his in-ring work, his mic work, that all stems from this time period. And this Hell in a Cell was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
What number am I on?
8.
So I realized I fucked up already.
Oh, boy. Can't believe it.
I said Bayley versus Sasha, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 2019, I was like, why? I shouldn't have had that. No, my number 10, which I'll switch now, is I don't care. But now my number 8 is actually Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks 2019. That was supposed to be my 10,
so
and Becky and Bayley versus Sasha is my 8th best.
I think you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
That's
I'll
what I'm
switch
saying.
it for you. I have Becky and Sasha as my number 7. So let's talk about it.
So it's my that was my 10.
That was one of the couple that just barely missed out on my list, and I desperately wanted to have it on the list.
Can I tell you? I'm going to give you a little spoiler, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
If according to my list right here, I go to whoever has the most appearances on my list becomes that like Mr. or Mrs. Hell in a Cell.
Mrs. Hell in a Cell, Sasha Banks.
It's Sasha Banks for me. She's got 3 matches on here.
She was in 3 of them.
And all of them made the list.
Bayley's been in 2.
Bailey's been in two.
Her
She
and
was
Bianca.
also in one against Bianca that I
Yeah,
thought
that was
about
really
on this
good.
list, which was great. Yeah.
Yep.
Becky versus Sasha, very good.
Becky and Sasha. So
Was very
Donnie, just so I'm clear, that's your number 10. Becky and Sasha.
Yes.
Sasha Bailey.
Because
is your
and
number
they got
8.
everybody was
So-
talking about the Fiend thing at the end, but that match was
Yeah.
a fucking banger.
Becky and Sasha, I rewatched that today. I love that it starts, the cell's coming down, and they're fighting outside of it,
Yeah.
and then they're getting back in, and they do such a great job of utilizing the entire area of Hell in a Cell. They have a lot of creative spots. They have a part where the steel chair is in the side of the cage, and they're fucking throwing each other into it. The ending with all the steel chairs, and she gets fucking tapped out. Like, it was such a fun match. I really, again, appreciate when it's not just like hardcore and top spots, but there's creativity throughout, and they're using the Hell in a Cell. Same, the Usos and New Day. That match has a ton of it throughout.
Mm-hmm. I will say, and that was like a common theme with Sasha's Hell in a Cell matches. Like, they were always trying to do different shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
7.
My number 7 is Edge versus Seth Rollins, Crown Jewel 2021. BG mentioned it before. I agree. This is one of the best Hell in a Cell matches of modern times. People a lot of times, view Crown Jewel as just like, kind of like a vanity project, and sometimes
Doing it for the money. Everybody's in there doing it for the money. Yeah.
But this match was legitimately great, and it was a legitimately awesome feud. Like, this is a fucking feud that we like dreamed of when Edge was out injured and Seth like threatened to murder him to get what he wanted out of John Cena. And then if you remember in this feud, like Seth showing up to Edge's fucking house and like home invasion and going in there and like eating an apple out of his home and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this was an awesome rivalry, and this was like the perfect way to cap it. I love this match. It was great.
That was a great match. Is that the feud? Does Seth Rollins go to the home, eat the apple, and shit on the artwork?
Yes.
On the fridge?
Yes, he does. Yep.
That's great.
Okay. Yours?
So my number 8. Oh, so wait, we're not
7.
number 8, right?
No,
7.
7, dude.
Number 7. Okay, so I didn't say my
Get it
number
from
8 before.
Clue.
My number 8 before Undertaker versus Edge, SummerSlam 2008.
Did not make my list.
Yeah,
It didn't make my list, but honestly, I think it's part of just I wasn't watching during that time.
That's another thing for me, is I wasn't watching it this time, but I went back and rewatched this one when we started doing this, and these are two of my favorites, and it is a complete Hell in a Cell match. They get taken through the side of the cage. They are utilizing everything about the cage. The ladder's involved. At the end, Undertaker chokeslams Edge through the ring. Just very entertaining Hell in a Cell.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it was
I'm
great.
going to open up to this Adam Copeland guy, though. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And so my
Also
number
not.
7, I said
Also.
earlier, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. So Donnie, you're number 7.
There you go. And my number 7 is Charlotte versus Sasha, 2017, which is my favorite girl. My favorite girl Hell in a Cell match.
I think it was great for me. I put it behind the Bailey and the Becky ones, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I might put it behind Bianca and Bailey also.
No.
I would have to rewatch it.
I think it's
Yeah,
close
I did
between those
rewatch.
two.
I rewatched all 3.
Didn't they do the old stretcher job with Sasha in this?
This worked on they did a bunch of pretty cool spots. It was in Boston, so it was.
I know they went through a table.
Oh.
It was a big deal. Yeah, this is better. Than
This
you
was the
remember.
first women's Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. No, I think this was 2016. Not
What did I
2017.
say?
You said 2017. Yeah, this was 2016.
I just don't know years very good.
No, you don't.
You know.
I'm trying to listen. We've done this show so long, I just don't know anymore. But I'm just holding
Mhm.
on barely. Yeah.
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 Tell me, yeah.
6, please.
My number 6, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, Bad Blood,
Mm.
2004. 7 years after the original
Did
Hell in a
not
Cell.
make my list.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
Didn't make my list.
Yeah, see?
This-
No fucking shit, you dummy. It was sucked. That's why.
This was better
great.
and bloodier than the last.
Yeah.
Triple H and Shawn Michaels, anytime they were having matches around this time period was fucking magic, like when Shawn came back in 2002. And then going into this was coming out of WrestleMania 20 with the great triple threat match, Shawn and Triple H and the other guy. I don't know, just them being best friends, as you often see in pro wrestling when people are close. Like, they just happen to have better matches because they're laying it in, they're fucking going all out. And that was the case every time with Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
This was a great match. It was very long.
It was like 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it was almost an hour. And so, at the time, definitely great, but I think it was surpassed by a bunch of matches for me.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the best feuds ever.
Yeah, pretty mid. BJ?
My number 6 is one that we've covered. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, No Mercy, 2002. At this time, Brock Lesnar, he had won the championship at SummerSlam. Then he goes on Unforgiven, beats The Undertaker. And there was just a lot of doubt of if he was really going to beat The Undertaker or not again. And Hell in a Cell. The storyline of this, Undertaker has a broken hand, so he has the cast. Paul Heyman is outside the Hell in a Cell. He's just fucking talking a ton of shit, The Undertaker. Brock at one point has, I think, handcuffs or a chain that they grab around Undertaker's cast, and he's just beating Undertaker's hand with a steel chair. And this was just super bloody, kind of a visceral match. And so at that point in time, there wasn't a lot of Hell in a Cell matches, and I thought this was a great one. Fucking brutal.
I do remember us doing this match. Did we do a match commentary, or did we do the whole pay-per-view?
I thought we did the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I do remember it being a good one. Didn't make my list, but...
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, didn't make my list either.
It's tough. It's tough. Only 10.
Yeah, and I have guys better than Undertaker on my list, and that goes on to my number 6. CM Punk versus Ryback, 2013.
Why are you lying?
No. Do you remember the match for real?
I remember it well.
2013.
Brad Maddox, brother.
Okay, how does the show start? If we're honest with ourselves here, that was a really, really, really fun match. That's all the stuff.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was, dude. That's the
This-
stuff
so
with fucking Paul Heyman.
This is fairly early on
Wait,
in the
isn't this
show, right?
2012?
Ryback was
2013.
fucking, getting this monster push. And I remember us going into it because it was Punk was on his world title run. Ryback hadn't lost yet. And it's oh God, they better not have fucking Ryback.
This was 2012, Don.
And their
Just
solution was to have Brad Maddox be a referee and screw over Ryback. This sucked. I can't believe this is on your list.
This isn't your number 6, and you yelled at me.
Number 6, yes. Number 6.
That's
Triple H, Shawn Michaels couldn't make him a fucking Ryback, brother.
Mm-hmm. Feed me more. I was all about Ryback. I loved him. Number 5.
I do remember it being a pretty fun match, but not top 6.
It wasn't even, though. It was just the only thing fun about it was
CM
being
Punk.
scared that Ryback was going to win.
Why was that fun?
That's a good fear to have, though.
Right, because you believe
Justified,
maybe
yeah.
fucking Ryback's going to win.
Yeah, because it was Vince.
Is there a list of matches so I can start confirming my dates?
I'll help you out. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's a wiki page.
I'm gonna go to 5. I'm gonna go do my 5 now. I'm gonna go first. Seth Rollins versus Jon Moxley, maybe 2014
versus Dean Ambrose. I don't
2015?
remember a lot from that. Hell in a Cell, but I don't feel like I thought it was anything great.
Is that when they had a hologram Bray Wyatt or something?
No, they did not. The match
There
wasn't
was
that
a
long.
hologram.
The match
There
was
was a
like-
hologram
That
Bray
was-
Wyatt at some point.
That was 2014, by the way, Donnie. I remember that
Okay.
being a great match.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand.
I don't
This
remember
was-
it being super long though. I
fucking-
think it was kind of short or something.
It was
I think
14 minutes on Wiki, which is wild.
wow.
That's very short for a Hell in a
Because
Cell.
Cena and Orton had a 26 minute Hell in a
Yeah,
Cell
well,
match.
they're still on the
I purposely
fucking-
surpassed any Cena Orton Hell in a Cell on the
Yeah,
list.
definitely not having that.
Mm-hmm.
Seth and Dean. I mean, I remember that being great. I'm surprised it was so short.
Well,
Even
I
though
remember Donnie
14
used to
Get
really
it?
pump up their lumberjack match. You remember
I
that?
it was something,
because let me say something to you. That
It was so
gimmick
over-
sucks so much.
Yeah, it was nothing special at all.
That's so stupid. It's so
Yeah,
stupid.
you're
dude.
so dumb.
I'll do my
say,
number 5.
I'll say my number 5 because we talked about Roman Reigns versus Jay.
Yeah, that didn't make my list.
Yeah.
My number 5 was one of BG's honorable mentions. I know it's not on Donnie's list, but Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 28. This was a fantastic Hell in a Cell
Overrated,
match.
overbooked, trash.
It's certainly not overrated.
I don't agree with the last comment of trash, but I agree with what Donnie did say there.
Overrated, overbooked.
It's not overrated.
Super overrated, super
Overbooked.
People
overbooked.
have this as like the best Hell. A lot of people have this as the best Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I certainly don't, but I think number 5 is fair because, and here's why. This was probably the first time that I ever had the slightest of beliefs that Undertaker was about to lose at WrestleMania. Like, I never
because
had
you're
that
a mark, dude.
No, I never had that feeling when he lost to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. Like, when Brock hit that F5, I wasn't thinking like, oh, holy shit, he's going to lose. Like, no way, not a thought in my mind. And he ended up losing. But the beauty of this match is Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. It's great storytelling. Shawn couldn't get the job done the 2 times he faced Undertaker at 25 and 26. Triple H couldn't do it the previous year, so he gets one more shot. Hell in a Cell. Shawn as the special guest referee, you think like, are there going to be shenanigans? Is he going to get involved? And at one point, he does like fucking snap, hit Undertaker with the sweet chin music, and then right into a pedigree from Triple H. And that was the first time I ever thought an inkling that he might lose, and he kicked out of it, ended up winning. And really the best part of this whole thing was the aftermath where they're all like hugging, going up the ramp, they're all fucked up, and it's like, this is the end of an era in WWE. Shawn was retired.
I thought you hated Fighting Spirit.
Triple H was near the end. Just amazing storytelling in this match.
This is like the most. This is such an AEW match of things that we dislike about AEW. Where
yes, it is.
It absolutely is. So
here's the thing.
Such a hypocrite,
it's
dude.
Undertaker at WrestleMania transcends all of that.
I get that, but it's like 40 steel chair shots, a sweet chin music into a pedigree, immediate kick out, which you know I absolutely hate, and I'm common with that for everything. And then the ending that you just said was so great of how them having this photo moment of all hugging. They just went through hell.
Yeah, but it was all respect.
But Triple H doesn't deserve to be on that stage, and Shawn Michaels is a total piece of shit.
What do you mean Triple H doesn't deserve to be on the stage?
That's not why it's a bad moment.
That's why it's just Shawn.
It was an awesome moment, without question.
It's just
it was not a blood feud in any way, shape, or form. It was all respect.
I had as an honorable mention because I recognize that it's a good match, but it's just too overbooked for me. And I remember feeling that in the moment, and ever since thinking about it in the past years of like it's been surpassed. As far as
it sucks. Awesome. It sucks. Mike?
I just want.
Oh, did you want to go 4 then?
Well, you didn't do your 5, did you?
I did. Seth Rollins vs. Mox. I started.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Do you want me to just go again with my 4?
Yep, please.
Okay. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell, 2022.
That is my 4 as well. Let's get into this.
Donnie will cry about recency bias.
Say it again. Say it again. I missed it.
No, I'm not letting you do the fart noise.
Wow, he knows you so well.
I was gonna do the blues thing on the harmonica. It's backwards. I don't know how to use it.
Do it.
I can't do it.
There you go.
I can't do it.
Donnie will accuse of recency bias, but if you are being realistic and you really look at this and everything that went into it, this is absolutely one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. And I said it after it happened. I felt that way, and really looking through all of the other Hell in a Cell matches, I still feel it. Like, that is one of the greatest visuals that we've seen in wrestling history. Like, going into this match, it was out there. Cody tore his pec. And everybody's like, there's no way this match can happen, right? Like, how are they going to do it?
This is so pathetic. Oh, shit, dude.
It's just all reality. How is he going to do it? And then the match is still going to happen. And then you're thinking, like, did he actually tear his pec? Like, did anything really happen here? And then the reveal of the torn pec, the fucking bruising, like, absolutely awesome. And then, like, you're wondering, like, how is he going to go through with it? They made it happen. You know he had to be in fucking insane amount of pain through this match.
Or it was all fake. And you're a mark.
Okay.
What is wrong with you?
The fact that he was able to fight through it
Got a tiny boo-boo.
One of the most impressive things that we've seen in wrestling. And Seth, his role in this cannot be diminished either. Like, he was trusted to be safe with it and still make it look good, still make it look vicious. And he was able to do that. Like, make it look like he was fucking stabbing him in his torn pec with the kendo stick. The fact that he wore the dusty polka dots to troll him. Like, everything about this match was fucking awesome. And if this match doesn't happen, I don't know that Cody gets to the level that he's at right now. Him tearing his pec is one of the best things that could have happened to him in WWE in terms of getting to the top.
And also spacing in terms of the booking. He needed.
Yeah,
he would have been.
Right.
fucked.
It was a good
poop
and
booking,
I said that at the time. Like, it
Yeah,
could be a
we
blessing
all
in
did.
disguise.
Yeah, I said it first though.
You didn't say anything.
We
You
collectively
have never
said
had
it.
an
Said it.
original
We were like, we
idea.
sang it as an a cappella group.
We collectively said it because Vince was booking, and we knew he was booked terribly after that. This match was fucking perfect. This is a 5-star match. This is easily one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches, one of the best hardcore matches, anything. I still cannot believe that Cody went through with that match. Donnie, you're a fucking
He's
asshole.
such a pussy.
Don't even care about you.
So stupid.
It's so impressive. He forever has my respect.
This is
I'm
what
a
it
fan of
sounds.
Cody
This is
ever
what it
since
sounds
that.
like. I'm so.
Yeah, hell yeah, because this match deserves it. That performance deserves it. Seth was awesome. Incredible Hell in a Cell match. But I think recency does play a role of it not going higher than 4 for me.
No, it sucks.
BG, I think you and I have the same top 4. I'm just not sure the order.
We definitely don't have the same order, and we know that.
Yeah.
Because our number 1 is
Cool,
absolute.
cool. No one gives a shit.
What's
For
your
my
four,
number,
asshole?
for my number 4,
Why do you cry about everything?
I have Bray
problem?
Wyatt against Roman Reigns.
Get the fuck out of here.
2015.
How could you shit on anybody else's list when this is the shit you
Hey,
call
listen, dude, you wanted me to go back and be honest, and this is the shit that I
You're
like
not
the most.
being honest.
Can
Bray
I ask you a
Wyatt.
question?
Roman won, too, by the way, so it's...
Can I ask
Yeah,
you
I
a
know.
question, Donnie?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have that Cody match in your top 5?
No, he doesn't have it
Yo.
on the list.
Okay.
BJ.
Didn't make your list, right?
Did not make the list.
Okay.
Did not make the list. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, be jealous. I will say this: mid-2000. This is the end of 2015, right? So the idea for me is that when we were heated about
The
this kind
heat
of
of-
shit, this is the
Yeah.
kind of shit. These are the kind of episodes that if I were ever to go back and listen, which I never will, this is the time period leading up to this match, Mike. You know, this is the screaming times. You
Yeah,
know
but
this.
it was nothing special as a match, though.
The match to me was very special because it really was us yelling.
Because it cemented that
for
Roman
our
was
show.
the guy.
No, it cemented for me that we were really good at this because it was our whole gimmick was leading up to this match, and it's
Took 4
been.
years.
Listen, the match is better than you remember. I don't remember
Did you
being.
rewatch this one?
Yes, I did. Not the whole. I did
I
skip
haven't
some
seen
of
this
the
since it happened, so honestly, I don't
No.
even have much of a memory of it because I didn't think it was. I don't recall. It
I
being
know
that
for a
great.
fact it was nowhere close to a top 10.
I don't know. All I know is that the
Top
two of
4,
them.
apparently.
Yeah, top 4, you idiot. This is around the time I think it had.
I'm saying
been-
it's not close to top 10.
Was it the week before? Was it the week before that they did the fucking spear thing where he like pointed at him? and
Oh,
shit?
when they were a team?
Yes.
That was so cool.
So like, I'm telling you, this is a really good time. I remember this 2015 was a good time.
Wait,
That was-
Vince had them team and they were going into a Hell
We
in
were
a Cell match?
starting to go into money making times for the first time ever here. We were up to $3.
Wow.
Mm-hmm,
I wish we could get back to that.
You legit do too. That's your cut right now. And I'll
You
go.
did it.
Did you guys say your
50
4s yet or no?
Yes, so you can do your
I'm
number
gonna go
3.
my number 3, and it's New Days versus Usos. That's where I have it. I love that match. I
Good
think
eye.
the tag
Good.
team
I mean-
aspect of it was so
Mhm.
fucking unique and different, and the Usos and the fucking the New Day, they were on like another level at that time. And like you said friends where they were like want to put each other over and have a great match. This was incredible. This was these guys fucking going above and beyond. I really, truly think this is probably my favorite modern Hell in a Cell match.
Once the Usos get back together for this whole fucking bloodline thing, like after that, we need to run the shit back.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate
Yeah.
that. Different perspectives on their careers and shit. Maybe that's when if Big E can maybe ever get healthy. Like that'd be a good time to at least bring them out, bring them out and be part of everything. And you know what I mean?
And we got New Day versus Shield.
I
We
remember
did
I
get
had
New
I had,
Shield.
I had Usos versus the was it Roman and Seth in Philly on a pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Your number
I'll
3.
go next. My number 3, the original, is The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Bad Blood 97.
BG, I have it
Number 1.
significantly.
I know it's your number 1. Everyone knows it's your number 1.
Hey,
this
my-
is
hey, PJ.
number 1.
PJ, real quick.
non-new.
did not make my list.
Right,
Rikishi
I
did
know
not
it's
make
big.
my list.
I know it did.
You know it. It's easily a top 10 of all time.
It's because The Undertaker's in it and Shawn Michaels in it, and so it's not going to make his list.
I like Kane.
I feel like he used to say he
I like
liked
Kane a
Undertaker.
lot
I
now.
know, but then you know here that I like The Undertaker, and so now you
Yeah.
can't like The Undertaker.
Well, no,
He
no.
probably used to like Shawn Michaels when he was
It's
younger.
weird
too.
because it feels like politically they might be aligned somewhat.
No,
and so
no, we definitely
now
support the
Donnie
blue.
is-
We support the blue, if that's what you're saying, dude. But I will say this: it's because he bullied the video game nerds, and that's a big.
He didn't even bully him at all.
He kind of did though.
No, all he says like, I don't get it. I liked it better in the old days. Like he didn't say stop fucking.
He's like, "Where's my guns and my drugs and my alcohol now?"
Yeah,
bitch.
hell yeah. You agree with that?
I know, hell yeah, dude.
This match is. What's interesting was when I was rewatching the Attitude Era and watching a lot of things for the first time, was that they don't tell you what Hell in a Cell is heading into this pay-per-view.
So hold on, real quick. Yeah, don't gloss over this. You said you were watching the Attitude again, and then you said a lot of the stuff you watched for the first time, like all of it, because you didn't watch it then.
No, because starting in like '98, I would go to friends' house for the pay-per-views, but in '97 I wasn't watching at all.
Sure.
Um,
97 is one of my favorite years in wrestling.
Oh, you Swiss
so-
cheese because your story's full of holes.
How was it full of holes? They're absolutely credit to being the first and still to like Mike, where it's their favorite one or the best one. And so to do that as the first, I feel that same way about Elimination Chamber. And this has so many of the elements that everyone still takes to this day from Hell in a Cell matches, falling on the side of the cage. And then you do have the Kane's
common
debut.
sense shit. Cool.
All right, well, you have to do it. Kane, you should try it sometime.
I fell off a fence, a chain link fence in 1994. Got stitches. So guess what? I was hardcore before hardcore was cool.
Try fucking
Kane's
building
debut,
next.
one of the greatest debuts of all
Hey.
time. Yeah, fall off a cliff maybe. Kane ripping the fucking door off.
Yeah,
That's gotta be Kane!
It's gotta be Kane.
Gotta be
It's one of the great
Kane!
fucking singles. So I'll let Mike wax poetic, but I want to call it out for being the originator. Easily top 3.
I'll get back to it in a minute.
Mhm.
I'll say my number 3 though. Triple H, Cactus Jack, No Way Out, 2000. The one I believe to be BG's number 1.
That is my number 1.
I will say this real quick. That was his number 1.
Not on your list.
Did not make my list.
That's fucking dumb.
Literally like the greatest Hell in a Cell performers of all time, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Triple H. He just refuses to include them.
No.
What are
No.
you doing here?
Okay, one
no,
of them
no.
you will, because it's undeniable. That
Absolutely not true.
What do you mean?
Absolutely not true. Because we'll get to my top 2.
But anyways, Triple H and Cactus Jack, one of the best feuds of that time probably ever, and I know BG, it's among your favorite ever, without question. I love their fucking match at Royal Rumble that they had.
That was better than this. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. But this was an amazing follow-up. Like the whole will he, won't he, Mick Foley like retiring storyline was very interesting at the time, and he put him like through the fucking canvas in this, right?
Yeah, because the backdrops him on top of the cell through the ring, and he still fucking moves, and it was just such a great fucking visual.
That was insane. That was not something you
They
really
light
saw.
the fucking 2x4 on fire on the top of the cell. This was an amazing I'm gonna wax poetic in a minute.
This was an incredible match for me. Like easily top 3. Just because of how iconic it is. To me, the top 3 on my list are the most iconic without question. And I know BG, you have the same 3 in a different order, but they're very interchangeable.
Mm-hmm. Donnie, you want to go to your number
Don?
2?
Did you just hear my wife?
No.
She
You
came
want
on.
to tell us your
Damn.
number?
She dropped
Can she
off.
tell us your number 2?
She dropped off peanut butter and jelly. I'm excited.
Nice.
The 6-pack challenge. The 6-pack.
Oh,
one.
did not make my
Armageddon,
list.
Hell in a Cell. It didn't make my list, but I really wanted it to be on my list because that was insane to have all that talent in one match like that at one time.
I think that's where the allure ends, though. The match itself, not that great,
Well,
and we've covered it. And
I
it's
just
just
Rikishi falling into the fucking
That's-
sawdust was pretty
sure,
great.
that's fun, but like the rest of the match is not
There were a
as
bunch
great
of
as the other
moments.
matches.
No, it's a
that
clusterfuck and super fun. You're very wrong. Watch it again.
I remember, was it SmackDown Shut Your Mouth where they like added that to the game, and I remember that being like so fucking huge to be able to play this 6-man Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Which I always loved. And that match, Rikishi shouldn't have been in there, but the fall made it
Right,
worth it.
that's the thing. Like, you had these top performers, and then Rikishi, the whole storyline with him was not good. The heel turn was not good. That was a great match.
It's iconic now.
It absolutely is iconic. And
Yeah,
it's
because
iconic
it's a
though,
joke.
just because, well, the match itself is iconic because those 5 people plus Rikishi.
Right. It's amazing that he ascended to that level for a short period of time.
Yeah, to the top of the cage to fall off.
And The Rock's promo heading into this, where he impersonates everyone, classic.
Yeah. Oh my God, one of the best promos of all time, probably.
Yeah. My number 2, I think Mike and I are aligned here. It's The Undertaker vs. Mankind, King of the Ring '98. I mean, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, they've laid the blueprint, but Undertaker and Mankind is what set this to a whole nother level when it comes to the allure of Hell in a Cell. And Mankind putting his body on the line like that, and this, people call this a 2-spot match. But when you look deeper, the whole storyline around this match and what takes place through that, and him taking that beating, and him constantly getting back up, and the things that Undertaker has to do to keep him down, it gives you the entire legacy of the Hell in a Cell match. It really uplifts Mankind and the Undertaker as well. So for that reason, it's number 2.
Undertaker,
and one of the
Mankind.
greatest visuals in history of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Undertaker, Mankind, King of the Ring '98, also my number 2. I agree with everything you said. Like, if you just took this match and thought, like, the quote-unquote match quality of it, it wouldn't sniff the top 10. Like, some of these matches were legitimate fucking awesome wars, 30 minutes. Like, they would be great matches without the cell. But, like you said, it was so iconic, the images and the moments that we got. Fucking Mankind being thrown off the top of the cell. Mankind being thrown through the fucking top of the cell. His tooth coming out of his
Terry
nose.
Funk
his smile.
rolling across to grab
Yeah.
Terry Funk. Him, like, getting taken away, and he fucking shows up again later in the night somehow.
That was
Like, that's even part of it. Absolutely insane.
Dude,
Like,
the thumbtacks.
this is shit that you really only saw. I mean, you saw shit like this in ECW. You saw shit like this in, like, the deathmatch tapes that you'd watch from Japan. But this is shit you never, ever saw before in mainstream WWE. You probably never thought you would see it, but we saw it. And Mankind put his fucking body on the line to do all this shit. It made Undertaker look like an absolute fucking $1,000,000, an absolute animal that he did all this shit to Mankind. And it made Mankind look like he was indestructible because he just kept coming back for more. Like, this is what made him truly a top guy in WWE. This is what allowed him to be a multi-time world champion, even though they were short reigns. But that's a guy that Vince, I'm sure, looked at first and was like, oh, this guy's fucking disgusting. He's never going to be a star for me. But he made him a believer, I think, with stuff like this. And I think it absolutely deserves a spot.
He just wanted, I realized in retrospect, Vince only wanted wrestlers who he could fuck alongside and be turned on by. He could never fuck alongside Mick Foley when he's fucking
Yeah, but he
railroading.
ultimately decided he could.
No, because he earned his respect as a man. He's like, I would watch you railroad a secretary with me. You're right, let's do this. Then you've changed me. You and Daniel Bryan have changed me. That's what he thought. Mike, I will say this about yours. BJ. You shared number 2. About yours. Ready? My number 1. That was my number 1 match.
Nice.
So, you thought I was going to make the list, but it's
As
actually
it
my number 1.
deserves. Well, that's because you said it before.
Oh.
And we said you were dumb.
Oh.
So, do you have anything that you would like to add since it's your number 1?
No, we just waxed poetic. Good. Real good.
All right.
What we say? Pretty good.
Pretty good. Not bad.
Not bad.
My number 1, as Mike said, Triple H versus Cactus Jack. Then we had 2000. Incredible storytelling. My favorite feud of all time. I do think the Street Fight is better at the Royal Rumble, but they took elements of that for this match. The 2x4 is a great callback. You did have Stephanie on the outside. Going through the top of the cell was insane. The 2x4 on fire. This happened on my birthday. We did not have the black box yet. And I remember having to watch this on fucking that scrambled, like, porn shit that you would do and trying to figure out what's going on in this match.
You gotta get the fucking illegal cable box.
I know, we didn't get it till the summer.
Well, here's the thing. You always had audio. Your box, you couldn't get the screen. I always had audio. So you couldn't see anything, but you could hear it.
No, you could see, like, it would be scrambled. So I remember watching, like,
oh, I get it.
Kane
believe
versus
me.
X-Pac.
A titty would keep me looking for fucking
absolutely.
2 months.
You saw like a red blob and a green blob.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Triple H and Cactus Jack, yeah, it was great. This match.
Was that
on
Mick
my
Foley?
birthday.
Yeah. That was the Hell in a Cell match. That was Terry Funk.
original, never topped, never replicated Shawn Michaels Undertaker Bad Blood in Your House in 1997. Like I said, I think the top three are pretty interchangeable, but just for me, I watched this live. Shawn Michaels, my fucking all-time favorite. Just being able to witness the first Hell in a Cell match, a match that would become one of the most iconic match types in history. Like, it's a great memory for me in terms of being a wrestling fan. Going back and watching this match, it still holds up. Like, Shawn Michaels bumped like a motherfucker in this match. Like, unbelievable selling job. Like, just made Undertaker look incredible. As BG mentioned before, the first one to take that bump off the side of the cage through the announce table, set the stage for what Mankind would do in 98. This match is just, Shawn Michaels, such an innovator. The ladder match, the Hell in a Cell match, Elimination Chamber, just makes history. And on top of that, it's part of the match, Kane's debut. We'll talk about pro wrestling debuts in a minute here, but one of the greatest of all time, without question. And that just added so much to the match. Like, seeing this fucking, like, a character we didn't even know, like, we knew there was a brother named Kane. We didn't know what he was going to look like. We didn't know who was going to be playing it, what it was going to be all about. It lived up and exceeded all expectations and ended up being one of the most iconic characters in history. And not only did we get an amazing match, we got that debut on top of it.
I will say this. Did not make my list, but
which is stupid, and you know that.
I was legitimately very young when this match took place. 9, right? So, I just remember Kane was scary. Like, I remember
Right.
being like,
the fucking fire, man.
like, dude, this dude's pretty fucking scary. Like, I was like, am I like concerned? Like, I'm a little kid. I just didn't know. I was frightened by him. Kane scared me at first. Because it's like, he's coming here to get Undertaker? Why is Undertaker scared of this guy? What the fuck? I didn't understand. Little me couldn't understand. That was good. My top 10 obviously was the most accurate, but yours, good effort by you guys.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you trying to.
Yours, I'll be honest, it kind of fucking sucked.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you fucking suck, so eat shit. So, do people vote on this?
Yeah, they're going to vote at patreon.com/ringrusradio. Vote and leave comments.
Cinnamon will be there?
Oh, yeah.
If you start releasing, oh my god, I got it. You know how, like, when you click on OnlyFans, like, you can't see anything because you have to pay money?
How when you click on OnlyFans.
I mean, I have no
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You've never clicked on it once and just see, like, what the page looks like and the formatting?
Nope.
It's the picture at the top, their little bio
The rabbit
thing.
hole I don't want to go down.
And then look, it's a bunch of pictures that you can't see. It says, like, you gotta pay $47.99 or something, right?
Wow.
And you're like,
Better
fuck
be
this,
the
dude. Yeah, it better be the best picture. It better show up in my house. But better be.
$47.99 sounds high.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
I think it was because somebody clicked it. It's like, dude, you'll never guess the price. And I was like, dude, okay, I'll check it out. Right? Technically, I'm doing research. I had to do it for business, for work.
At least they value themselves at a high level.
We do that, but it's cinnamon, dude. Cute
Nice.
dog
Yep.
pics, right? She's at the top, but the pictures are blurred out. Awesome dog pic, $47.99. They click on it, and just cinnamon, like, hey, it's me. And they're
I'm
like,
afraid
"That's
to know the
fucking
kind of
cute."
people that would be subscribing to dog pics on OnlyFans and what they would be wanting to see.
Holy shit, you're
What are
right.
you, those people from Ricky Snicky?
Only
There you
pets.
go.
Only pets. It's just people pay like just a nickel to see pictures of your dog. We get enough nickels. That's $1.
That's true. It adds up.
$1. That's 25 cents.
We made,
All right,
guess what? We're doubling our income right now. Holy shit, dude. All right, yeah.
Hey,
I guess we heard your feedback. We heard you say, we're in the streets. I heard you yelling, we love evergreen content about wrestling. Give us some more top 10 lists while you're on vacation.
And we answered the bell.
We did. We came up, pow, 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 pow. We thought we could knock us out. Fuck that. Here we come again with another list, baby. This time it's a top 10 wrestling debuts ever. No way this goes awry. No way we have any differing opinions. I thought people would love that we yell about shit and go through history and
I thought so too.
It's kind of the whole point of the show, is to yell about things and disagree about
I
wrestling.
enjoy that when I listen to my podcast.
I'm gonna have fun despite the haters. That's my choice. I'm sassy, but I like it.
I will say, for those that complain, we probably put in a lot more work for these episodes than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I just roll out of bed and hate WWE. Got it. Mike does the same thing with AEW. What do you want to do, man?
There you go. We actually there's some nuance to these.
Yeah, we actually have to do thought and research, and I hate it.
Mm.
You think I like that? You think I like that? I hate it.
I like thinking.
You think I like thinking? Kenny Johnson messaged me because I said how much I hated him making me think, and he's like, I promise I'm going to start making you fucking. He's like, my shit's going to get. My emails gonna make you think so deeply from now on. I was like, I just ignore them.
You're gonna start sending math problems.
I'm just gonna ignore them, dude. Ooh, math problems I might try because I'll get a calculator. All right, Mike. So explain what's gonna happen here in just a hot minute.
All right, so we each made our own top 10 list of the best wrestling debuts of all time. We're gonna debate them. We're gonna read our lists. Basically, the rules for this, at least what I followed, was this could be the first time a wrestler is ever appearing in general, or their first appearance for a certain company.
Yeah.
That to me is what constitutes a debut. Yes.
Well, it could be their first time they ever showed up in wrestling too. It meant a lot.
Good.
Sure. Well, that would be their first time.
Like when LT rolled through the fucking building for the first time. You don't remember that shit?
But I'll say this: when like CM Punk, he goes to AEW, he debuts there, and then when he goes back to WWE, that's not a debut.
No, that's a return.
That's a return. So
yeah.
If there's any confusion about that, that's not a debut.
If I broke rules, it may have been inadvertent.
I doubt you did.
Okay. Don't know. I legit don't know.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of credit here for the first time.
You're about to go.
That's a dangerous game, my friend.
Hey, Mama, can you fill this up with me?
We literally made this about any company so that it wouldn't mess anything up for Donnie.
Did you just crack a bottle of champagne? What was that noise?
I'm wondering too.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. It sounded like someone was popping bottles.
You pop bottles, dude. Moira's back.
What's going on?
Moira's back, dude. The fucking crack is flowing, dude. I don't know how crack works. I'm sorry.
Pop that crack open.
Pop! That's how it works, man. She's sitting there like, I want to open it.
Popped a fresh bottle of crack. Do they come in bottles?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, they're rocks. I know definitely why.
Probably
You smoke
bags.
through clear tubes with like Brillo pads. I watched Cops as a kid.
Good, dude.
I watched Cops as a kid, dude. I know all about it. They're like, what's this over here? And I was like, I don't know. Tell me, officer.
Who's starting with their number 10?
Yeah, I'll go first.
I have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
No, I have a top 10
didn't list any.
Okay.
But there's some that I wanted to include that just
Squalor is unbelievable right now. You're like, it's so far away. Go ahead, tell me your honorable mentions.
It's really close, actually.
Just do it. We'll work
right,
through it.
Aleister Black, NXT TakeOver Orlando 2017. We were there.
Oh, we were there.
Sting at Survivor Series 2016.
I thought about it, but then I thought about what happened afterwards. Didn't make the list.
Brock Lesnar, his Raw debut.
That was close to making my list.
Chris Jericho's Raw debut.
That did make my list.
Wait, Chris Jericho debuted his first night?
Yeah, on Raw.
It didn't make your list?
No, because when you watch it back, and this is what happened to me. It was on my list originally. Watched it, and I was like, he just gets fucking owned by The Rock.
BG was if you remember, we just watched the pay-per-view that happened after that, and BG was very mad about the usage of Jericho coming out of his debut.
Dude, the following week, he gets owned by The Undertaker. So he just gets owned left and right. So, great moment, great entrance, but he gets owned. So, honorable mention.
Significantly higher for me.
Good. Listen, they're all going to be different. So, my top 10, here's my number 10. Ravens TNA debut in 2003. So fucking hyped for this. This is after Jarrett wins the title. He comes in right at the end of the show, beats down Jarrett, takes the title. Everyone else around Jarrett who was celebrating with him, like, what the fuck is going on? They try to run off Raven. Raven goes to the barricade. He's there with Vince Russo, and Vince just screams, fucking Raven's here, and you have a fucking Vince Fears Raven sign. Shit was awesome. Loved it.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was not watching TNA during that time, but I liked Raven a lot, so I probably would have been into that.
I did not have a TNA debut on my list.
No, me neither.
So, Macho Man could have made the list for sure.
How about Hulk Hogan TNA debut, brother?
Did I ever tell you about Bound for Glory 2011? Mine 10 is Goldberg's debut.
In WCW?
No, in
WWE.
WWF.
Okay.
Mhm.
When he was wearing that leather jacket.
Mhm, Harley Davidson, buddy.
Yeah.
Before they went woke.
And Spears the Rock?
They go woke too. Oh my god.
I know, that's crazy.
Hard to keep track.
I know, dude. Guess what? I'm selling my
Pretty
hog.
sure you just got to live in like a fucking hut, wearing no clothing, using no products.
Fuck that. I'm be wearing Levi's, an American
Gotcha.
brand.
What'd you like about Goldberg's WWE debut, Don?
The spear.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
The only thing he ever did. Okay.
Yeah. Well, guess what? When you got
Bret Hart hates your fucking list already. I can tell you that.
he definitely gave it a 4 out of 10.
You would hate
Bret
that
Hart's
so much.
WCW debut didn't make my list, by the way.
Bret Hart.
Or his entire one.
Bret Hart loved me, so don't want to hear it.
My number 10, Jon Moxley debut at AEW Double or Nothing 2019. Believe it or not, Don, AEW debut on my list. It was a cool moment. It's something that they needed, I feel like, because it was just starting the company. This was really their first pay-per-view under that banner. They hadn't debuted on television yet. So this was like the type of big jump that, you want a competitive company to have. Was one of WWE's top stars for many years, part of one of the biggest stables of all time, and they got him walking through the crowd to close the show. It gave them a ton of buzz. I feel like it's a big reason why, like, right out of the chute, they had over 1 million viewers of Dynamite. I'm not gonna, shit on the company and talk about what happened since then. But this was a big moment for them, and I think it's a big reason why they had as much success as they did initially.
Hey, Mike, significantly higher.
Significantly higher on mine as well.
There's a lot of better ones, but
yeah, because you hate
This-
AEW. Oh, your AEW love can only be so high. It was an incredible moment, one of the best.
Yeah.
No, I got an AEW one much higher than this, actually.
Me too. So who you got for number 9? Number 9.
I have Shinsuke Nakamura's NXT TakeOver debut. That was 2016.
That was a consideration. It was very cool.
One of the greatest debut matches. They had the fucking entrance was phenomenal. I was, Donnie, heading into this, I was excited about Nakamura. I've seen him in New Japan a few times, and I was like, man, this guy is awesome. Can't wait to see what he does in NXT. One of the greatest debut matches of all time.
100% agree with that. I have that one spot higher. That's my number 8.
Oh,
That is one
What's
of
your
my
number
favorite moments.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9. That's one of my favorite moments of all time. Just talk about it now. It is that entrance, understanding that he was coming, understanding that it was going to be a thing.
It's
coming! And again, that was that's when New Japan was at its my favorite time. We were watching every single show. It was a great. They were putting on amazing stuff, and Knock came here, and we're like, I hope they don't take his style down. And then him and Sami Zayn nearly killed each other. Fantastic sequence and great moments. That's my number 8. But my number 9 is Sting.
WWE or AEW?
Like where?
AEW. You thought it was going to be WWF. No thanks, little lady. It is AEW.
What?
The snow, the whole spiel.
Winter is coming.
And what we got and what we got
cool.
out of that run, looking back now, they did it really well. They did the whole thing, from beginning to
Sting's
end.
the man.
It was one of the best things that AEW did was the way they handled Sting, I would say.
Absolutely.
And honestly, Sting's willingness to be like, yeah, I want to jump off shit, really made that shit work great.
He's just like, fuck it. I'm going to go nuts in my last 2
He's
years.
like,
Well, he's like, I can't work like a fucking regular match anymore, so I'll just do this and they'll get over.
I mean, that's what Terry Funk did.
Yeah.
It was like The Wrestler, the movie The Wrestler. When we watched that.
It is.
It felt like,
Thank God he lived.
Thank God he lived, yeah.
Thank God he lived. Mike, your number 9?
My number 9, little under the radar one. I'm guessing you guys do not have it on your list, but I think it's very significant. It was before I was, watching wrestling. It was 1991, only 2 years after I was born. But looking back, this is a very historic moment. Ric Flair's debut, WWF Superstars, September 21st, 1991. They were teasing, week by week. Bobby Heenan was teasing the arrival of this, the real world's champion. And I'm sure at the time Meltz had his fucking newsletter and people knew it was going to be Ric Flair or whatever. But, this was this big tease like, oh, who's it going to be? And finally Ric Flair shows up, and this dude, he is the face of NWA, of WCW, one of the biggest stars in pro wrestling ever, despite
Wasn't
never
WCW
stepping
yet.
foot.
It was NWA.
By
Jim Crockett
91,
Promotions. No, it wasn't.
100%, 100%, 100%, 100%
It was
by
World Championship
91.
Wrestling in 1992, buddy. Check it out.
100% by 91, it had WCW branding. They had this little identity crisis where they were between the two. But yes, 100%. But he was the face of that brand, and then he comes to WWF, and he brings the WCW World Championship with him. And that became a huge controversy. They had to like take it out of the later like airings of it. They had to like exit out and shit like that. And then he only was with WWF for like a year after that, but made a huge impact. Won the title a couple times, won the Royal Rumble, faced Macho Man at WrestleMania. So I think to have such a star make the leap and to bring the championship with him, I think that deserves a spot in the top 10.
Didn't make my list.
Didn't make my list.
Because, yeah, I mean, I knew Donnie.
Didn't.
I didn't think you'd pick it PG. Donnie, he's a hypocrite. He's not a real Flair fan.
Yeah. I didn't include anything from when I wasn't really watching, actually.
This is the only thing I included from that. Just because I thought it was
actually,
I didn't include The Undertaker's debut, for example.
Yeah, I didn't include.
Honestly, I didn't include that either.
Because I had to be kind of watching live to be applicable.
To get that real
I'm not a liar like some pieces of shit.
Right.
I literally told you I wasn't watching at the time. Not lying.
Yeah, but then you come over here pretending.
No, literally said I wasn't.
That's okay. I get
Watch it back afterwards.
Pretending.
You don't get it. Doesn't seem like.
All right, number 8, BJ.
So my number 8, maybe a little prisoner of the moment, but the Wyatt 6 debut was fucking incredible.
Definitely.
That presentation
did not make my fucking list.
It was excellent, but it wasn't a consideration.
No,
that presentation was so cool. They fucking murdered people. Everything about it was awesome.
Poop.
Okay.
You already said your 8?
Yeah, my 8 was Knock.
Okay. Just to chime in on Knock, that was one I considered on my list. I think the thing that was so cool about it was like, it was very unique in that they hyped up this match. You never saw him on TV until the match happened, which they don't really do that usually, so it was cool. My number 8, May 27th, 1996, WCW Nitro, the Canadian tuxedo wearing Scott Hall. Makes his WCW debut. Kevin Nash came a couple weeks later. Wasn't as impactful as this because Razor Ramon for several years, huge star in WWF, multi-time IC champion. When you're a kid, at least for me, 1996, I'm watching it. I'm not aware of like the backstage inner workings of what's happening here. I'm not aware that his contract's up. I'm not aware that Kevin Nash's contract's up. As far as I know, Razor Ramon's just like taking some time off and he's going to be back on Raw the next week. But I'm watching Nitro, shows up. I 100% watched this as it happened. And this was the start, really, of the Monday Night Wars. Like, it technically started a little bit before that with the first episode of Nitro in 95, but this is where it really ramped up.
And Lex Luger.
Yeah.
In the Mall of America with his fucking 1700 shirt.
This time they stole a real star, in Scott Hall. You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. Iconic line in pro wrestling history. And then we got, the NWO, which fucking changed wrestling for a period of time. So I think this has to be on the list.
Forever. Changed wrestling forever there, big man. In my opinion, it did. Made heels cool.
Yeah.
That's how heels became cool, right there. In my mind, and this is going to be controversial, I have 2 selections on here that are double debuts. Okay?
Is one of them Hall and Nash? Because I
Hall and Nash,
did not do it. Yeah,
I
they're different. They're like 2 weeks apart.
Yes, they're 2 weeks apart, but it was clear that what was happening was a group effort. It was something forming, and in that sense, you're right. The Scott Hall, the line coming in, it's him and the interrupting jobber match. They're just like, whatever, we're out of here, and they just left the ring. Right? It was the beginning of something very special. That was my 4th biggest. That was a huge moment, dude. Those 2 fucking debuts, and I always associate one with the other, so I just locked them in at one. That's my 4.
That's your number 1?
That's my 4.
No,
that's my number 4.
Oh, that's your number 4.
That's my number 4
it
overall.
Is Hall and
so we
Nash.
all said our 8s?
Hall and Nash, yes. Yes, and so let's go over to 7, Mike.
PG.
My number 7.
I called on you, Mike.
That's not how we're doing. We're going in order.
The order is
You're not the boss.
you first, Mike.
I'm
Go ahead,
going to be
BG.
difficult for this. Number 7, CM Punk AEW debut.
I have it slightly higher.
Yep. Pivotal moment, not just for AEW, but for wrestling history as far as I'm concerned, because to bring him back needed something big. I'm not really counting the whole backstage show that he did with WWE. I'm talking about going back and wrestling for a company. This was huge. Big CM Punk fan, even though he said a lot of shit that he hopefully regrets after that. He is one of my favorites. And so to have him back and his run in AEW was great. He had awesome matches, awesome promos, good storylines. He was, in
Injured
my
all
opinion,
the time, weak-minded.
he was my favorite
A
worker.
little bitch named Jack Perry had to ruin it.
Yep. So him coming back
Fox was right about
massive.
him all along.
The promo was great. Everyone knew it was happening, and they fucking delivered. And so that was the 7th best debut.
Incorrect. The 7th best debut is Kane. Bad Blood.
Wow. Significantly higher.
Significantly higher.
Yeah.
That's honestly a disgusting ranking.
7th.
He should be
7th
embarrassed.
best debut.
And you love him even more now after his in-ring career.
Oh, well, listen, that's the kind of person my kids should grow up to be, right? Undertaker said that, right? Right? That
He
was
liked the cut of his jib.
what did Undertaker say? Something like, my real life brother, he's a great man or something. I remember something like that.
Real life brother.
Yeah, but yeah, I know you guys probably have it higher because you're WWF marks and you love Shawn Michaels and you love Undertaker. But I always thought that Hell in a Cell match was kind of mid. I know that was
That's
like a new
stupid.
phenomena, but it wasn't
Did you
all that
when we
impressive.
did the Hell in a Cell top 10, you didn't have it in your top 10, right?
I have Hell in a Cell right here. You're
Stupid.
talking about Undertaker? Yep, didn't make the list.
HBK Taker.
Didn't
You
make
didn't
the
have it
list.
in your top 10.
Nope. Undertaker versus Mankind was my number one, though.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
I like
that was
Undertaker. See, I don't hate Undertaker.
Fine. Uh-huh.
He backs the blue.
Uh-huh.
He kneels for the fucking cross and stands for the flag.
Mike, what is your number 7?
My number 7 from Royal Rumble 2000. Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you. Taz.
Wow,
That's a
Mike.
good one. Did not make
Yo.
my list, but good. Great one.
I have him, Mike, at number 6. So let's get into
Okay.
this.
All right.
I thought it was gonna be the only one.
No,
Holy shit,
this was
I'm
fucking,
very
this,
surprised. This was
Dude, this
awesome.
was an iconic debut. This is right in my wheelhouse. Fucking middle of Attitude Era. Absolutely loving the shit. Like living and dying by what's happening each week on these shows.
Wait, did you
and
say
again,
2000 was middle of the Attitude Era?
It was.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
100%. 98, 99, 2000, 2001.
That's it.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
And this is early
is
2000.
January
So
2000.
honestly, this couldn't be more middle.
Yeah, this is middle.
Idiot.
Don't call me
anyways,
idiot. Don't
I
do
just
that.
fucking
yeah.
did because you're being an idiot.
You're totally an idiot.
Yeah.
Don't do
Again,
it.
I wasn't during this time. Like I wasn't so privy to like what fucking Meltz was saying, what the dirt sheets were. I didn't know that Taz was going to be showing up. I know looking back that people did know this, but not me as a kid. I wasn't aware of that. So for him to fucking show up, surprise opponent for Kurt Angle, then he just fucking beats him in like short order. Like, let's not talk about what ended up happening after that.
Yeah,
'cause
let's not.
it feels like he should have gotten a huge push and been a star. I think part of it is he had significant injury issues, so he
Yeah,
never
of course.
really kind of built on it.
Also, Vince hated how small he was. Let's be honest.
Probably so. But
Absolutely.
in terms of just the debut in a vacuum, like this was fucking awesome. One of the biggest stars in ECW history, coming to WWF, beating one of their rising stars so decisively in Madison Square Garden, Royal Rumble 2000, one of the biggest Royal Rumbles of all time. Like, unquestionably deserved a top 10 spot.
Yep. I thought it was gonna be the only one. This was so awesome. Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view I've never that I wasn't attending, and they had the things flashing on the Titantrons every now and then on shows, and you didn't know what the fuck it was.
It was the orange
Well,
and then the 13.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I didn't know.
Amazing
'cause
theme
I
song,
didn't-
by
I
the
didn't
way.
really
That
know.
helped too.
Awesome theme song. The crowd, they knew what was happening. They went nuts. They were chanting for it before the music even hit. You had Kurt Angle, who was undefeated at the time. Like you said, Mike,
Dave
their rising
Meltzer,
star.
think
It
about
was
it.
clear.
Dave Meltzer informed all those fucking people. All
Really?
the smart fans went to Dave Meltzer, dude.
And well, how about now?
But this match itself,
Legacy.
it's a short, quick match, but it's awesome. It's hard hitting. You got everything you want from Taz, and then they had a great angle of like it's a fucking chokehold. You're not allowed to do that. And Kurt Angle's he's like concussed. He's like I didn't fucking lose. It was great. Love it.
Yeah, and the booking after, for the most part, was dookie. So what's your number 7 then?
Well, that was
I
my
just said
number
it.
6. So it's on your number 6 now.
Oh, I thought did you say your 7? What was your 7?
I said my 7 was Taz. BG's 6 was Taz. Now it's your 6.
Oh, okay. My 6 is AJ Styles WWE.
Significantly higher.
No,
Yeah,
can't do it.
Yep.
AJ Styles in WWE.
Can't do
Never
it.
thought the day would come.
Exactly. That's why it's
Right.
fucking
And
crazy.
when it happened, and his booking for a while there was very well. Very good.
Yeah. Hey, Donnie. And we had just spoken to him a month before that we were trying so hard to get that interview.
You got a mouse in your pocket? I
We
was
did,
trying
barely.
so hard. You did nothing.
I did a lot. I willed it into fruition.
No, you
There
did
you
not.
go.
You literally.
Same. I said I would really
I sat
like
and
that for that to
prayed.
No,
happen.
you won't. No one helped me. I got most of those interviews on my own.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I got you a lot of those contacts.
Did you get Harley Race?
R.I.P. He died
Did you get Roddy Piper?
Why do you do this? Those
Did you get Pat
two.
Did
Patterson?
you get Bam Bam?
I was okay with not getting Pat
Bam
Patterson.
Bam?
He's problematic. And Bam Bam was dead well before we had the show. But Roddy Piper and I communicated quite often. I have those emails. They mean the world to me. And Harley Race as well.
That was probably
Anyways.
like his cousin or something.
They died because of me, I think.
It was Ronnie Piper.
Like, I got this mark ass fucking butt. So AJ Styles, my number 6. Go ahead.
My number 6, BG already mentioned it, CM Punk, August 20th, 2021, AEW Rampage. I echo a lot of what he said. It was the worst kept secret in wrestling. But we understood why they did that. They knew like they were going to pop a huge fucking rating if they, made people pretty much know that it was going to be a CM Punk debut. It was in his hometown of Chicago, which added, tenfold.
They
to
called
The
it the
first
return.
Rampage.
They called
To
it
the
the
environment.
return.
Right.
The first Rampage, too. Like, he set a tone for this brand new show. That's
Exactly.
important.
We won't talk about what became of it, but at the time it felt just like such a massive deal. Like
It's a top 3
You know-
show right now.
the way Punk went out and the way he talked about wrestling, it's like eventually you think everybody is going to come back, but with him it was like a little bit of uncertainty. Like he pretty much shit on wrestling, so he didn't want to be part of it anymore. And to finally see it, and even though we knew this was going to happen a little bit beforehand, to finally see it play out, to see the excitement, his promo, I feel like it just was, a long promo and it had to be and it should have been. It was just an awesome moment to finally see that. So definitely, number 6 on my list. Even more awesome though. I can't make the list, but to see him really come home to WWE where he truly belongs, where he truly always wanted to be, where he loves to be. To see him thriving there, I just fucking love it,
You
guys.
said it's somewhere
It's
where he
great.
always wanted to be, or a place.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, why else did he do the backstage thing?
What backstage thing?
WWE backstage on FS1. He definitely was angling to come back to WWE. Vince just didn't want him.
I'm not sure that's true.
Yeah. Didn't
Okay.
see value.
It's pretty true.
I don't think so. Next? Who else? Next?
So my number 5 is Jon Moxley. His AEW debut, Double or Nothing.
Significantly higher.
This
Significantly
is
higher than 5?
Yep.
It's a
Yeah,
pivotal
you're lying,
moment
so.
as far as I'm concerned in the wrestling business because it really helped push AEW. You had Jericho, you had Cody, you had some stars, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, right? But like this was the first big one where you basically took him from WWE. He's leaving WWE to go to AEW and really
What it was,
cement his
PJ,
legacy, and
PJ.
that was massive. And the actual moment itself, we all heard the scuttlebutt. We want to see it happen. They delivered, and he does it. Comes out at the end, fucks everyone up basically, and he had the promo after, like online that video, fucking awesome. It was great. And he's been a top star for them ever since. So like they've delivered on his booking overall for the most part.
Yeah. The video of him becoming a free agent.
Yeah,
he
it was
put out-
amazing.
Before everybody-
breaking out of prison,
before-
everybody
The
stole that
paradigm.
after that.
Every single person in the
Buddy
whole world
Matthews
stole that.
shit.
But everybody, it was him who did it. I remember he had social media lit up everywhere. Yeah. And honestly, the New Japan stuff. Remember when he was sitting at the bar and he stabbed Mox into the countertop when he was at the bar? It was the Death Rider.
Yeah, with the knife. Yeah.
That was fucking, all of that became super awesome. So for me, I combine those 2 debuts into this one. And that's
New
why
Japan and AEW?
Yes, that's why. Because it was around the same time, same guy, debuted for 2 different companies, and honestly, he had those shorts on and was looking fine. So it's all good.
Remember he lied and told Vince he was just like gonna take some time off and do some movies and shit?
Yep. Yeah, he was like, I got you, you old fucking prick. He was right. No, he was right. Your 5, Mike?
My number 5 is from August 9th, 1999, WWF Raw, Chris Jericho.
Significantly higher.
I understand BG's point that, they didn't really do much with him coming out of it initially, but I'm just looking at the debut in a vacuum, and that was one of the biggest deals. Like, Jericho was legitimately one of my favorite parts of WCW every week. I've said it many times. I love the Cruiserweight division, and I loved the shit he was doing. He brought, like, that comedic twist to it. Like, when he was, like, feuding with guys and he would steal something of theirs after every time, and he would come out with, like, wearing all this shit, like masks and stuff, and he would cut, like, the Man of 1,004 Holds promo, like, fucking with Goldberg and doing that whole feud. Like, he, to me, was the best thing going in WCW, really. So to see him jump ship, go to WWF, like, I had such high hopes for him, because really in WCW, like, he was capped. Like, they weren't going to put him in that Hulk Hogan echelon.
Never.
So then he goes to WWF, and you're like, well, maybe it's going to happen. And it took a while. Eventually it
Took a
did happen,
long
though.
time.
He did become a top star. But, and the build-up to this, too, was what was really awesome. Like, the Y2J counter.
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
that's the
That
kind of
was
thing
cool.
they never really did that before in WWF for a debut, I feel like. So they're building anticipation to it. And then for the countdown to just come on Raw, and then he comes out. Yes, I realize that The Rock kind of fucking owned him, but it was still amazing to see him show up in WWF and to have this big payoff to this thing that they've been teasing for months. So I loved it.
So you have it at 5. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, because all the things you said, you spoke very eloquently, which is a stunning turn of events here.
Thank you.
I had it.
I got my moments.
I had it at number 2. That's my second favorite debut of all time.
Now,
I'm
what
not
was your
going to
number
fight you on
5?
that. I think it's fair.
My number 5, I'll talk about it
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
Wow.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay.
The
I have it higher than
Shield.
that.
I have that
Shield at number
a little
5.
higher.
I got the debut of,
Mhm.
again, now this is going to sound like Mark-ass shit, but I'm going to take you a step here. That's fine. We're allowed to do that. Guys, it's evergreen content. I loved Tyler Black. I loved John Moxley. I loved
You love
Your best article.
John Moxley
Joseph
is-
Anoa'i.
John Moxley. Again, on Independence that I saw, was a crazy psycho fucking dude who did deathmatch shit. And he, and then, well, again, as weird as it is, like one of the first articles as a professional writer was about Moxley and Mick Foley, and we,
That was
like,
your best article ever.
but it was like, cause I cared so much about it.
I bet if
and
I
I
went
knew,
back and read it, I could fucking find
oh,
lost it.
don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I learned to write on the fly, dude. But no, the truth was, I loved the two of them so much. And Roman Reigns literally knew nothing about this guy.
Did you know him from Adam?
Didn't know him from Adam. Bomb, but I knew that he did the power bomb real good. And the two of those other guys were awesome, and they came in, and that first debut, they're going against like the biggest names in wrestling. And honestly, the booking that Shield run, without
That's
a
one of the
doubt,
best runs
is one of
ever.
the greatest runs of all time. And man, were they right, because all three are world champion, top dogs, a decade later. Decade
It's crazy.
plus.
They run the fucking industry.
They run the industry. They really do. They fucking, all three of them. Like, Mox runs AEW. It feels like a crime syndicate thing. Like, you have fucking,
Right,
Roman
yeah.
Reigns running the SmackDown side of town. You got fucking Rollins running the Raw side of town. AEW side of town. That's Mox territory over there. Like, it just, they really do. It's their
Yep.
companies. And I love it. Shield was great. One of my, there's some moments in wrestling where I go back and I think for 1 second, and the feeling goes right away. I'd like to go back and listen to what we thought in that moment. Like,
I
because
think
we
we
were
were all
record.
hyped, man.
But I'm
I
just
think-
I
saying,
think
like,
I know we were hyped. I think I wrote an article because I was so hyped.
we were, but it was like, I wish I'd go back sometimes and listen to, like, we are reacting in the moment to history. So, like,
Yeah.
how
Right.
is my impression of this moment changed from then to now, and how close to reality was I then? And
I remember us all being very, very excited
Of
for this
course.
because
We're a
it's
bunch
the
of
impact
marks.
of that debut. They fucking nailed that debut. That I have it higher than you because of that.
Yeah.
I think we were all on the right side of history with that. BG
Yeah.
and I more so because we said Roman was a huge star from the start.
I
and
knew
Donnie used to try to.
there's one Jay
shit on him.
Rowan.
Sorry, CM Punk, but a better choice than Chris Hero.
yeah, that's crazy to think back what it would have been like, but
What if
they
one
made
of
the right
those-
choice. Vince, he sometimes got it right. I'll give him that.
Could have made it
I'll
Cesaro
pop
instead.
in real quick, BG, 'cause my number
Cesaro instead of Roman Reigns would have been better.
I just 100% disagree.
He
Wasn't he
Jason
on the
Statham.
roster? Wasn't he already on the main roster?
Yes, he was on the roster
Well,
because
get him
he
in there.
came up in 2011, I think.
Okay.
My number 4 is the Shield, Survivor Series 2012. Just add a little bit to it. The part of the reason why it was so cool was because like rarely do we get something like that from WWE. Like calling up, and they weren't unknowns to like hardcore wrestling fans because they knew who Seth Rollins was and who Dean Ambrose were in ROH and other indies and stuff like that. But to somebody who's only watching WWE, like a lot of people did not know anything about these people. And then most people did not know anything really about Roman Reigns. And for them to just show up in the main event of one of your big 4 pay-per-views and fuck up, the main event with huge stars involved in it, there was no inkling this was going to happen. Like the surprise factor of it is what made it so fun. And the fact that you're thrusting these 3, relative unknowns into superstardom right out of the gate. Thrusting them.
How about the turtlenecks?
That was the only
Yeah.
bad part, but
That
better
was
than
the
what
only
they
bad
said.
part was the turtleneck.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just fucking awesome to see these guys, like, them trying something different, trying something new, because that's something that we didn't get a lot during that time in WWE. And then, like, they couldn't have built upon it better. Every single week, we were fucking excited to see these guys come out of the crowd and destroy people.
The song,
and
the fucking
the song.
motif,
Awesome.
and honestly, it
the
was the
little
competition.
promos they would do backstage where they were holding the camera.
Yeah, the
Oh,
fisting that they
yeah.
did.
The fisting. The
We
power
loved getting
bomb.
fisted.
Just
Thrusting and
Some-
fisting. And
one of
just
the
fucking
greatest
legacy.
stables in wrestling history, if not the greatest stable in wrestling history.
I'll tell you,
And
Donnie.
they lived up to the hype.
I'll tell you, Donnie. It's been a gaping hole ever since.
No, they filled it. They filled their own
I want
holes.
them to fill it.
No, they're filling. They're in the top dogs that are coming. They're throwing. Everybody's filling holes.
I'm just saying that type of.
All holes are filled. Okay. How about number? Did you do your number 5?
I did my 4. BG's 4 now.
So my number 4 is AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble, one of my favorite wrestlers of all
You
time.
made
Have
it
wanted.
seem like I was an idiot for having it at 6.
You are.
No, I didn't say that.
I did.
Oh. No, I didn't say you were an idiot for having a number 6.
Okay.
That's great.
Even 4 is too low, but I won't call BG
All
an
right.
idiot.
But
Okay.
I mean, wanted that debut to happen for so many years. I had watched him in WCW. I was like, man, this guy's fucking awesome. TNA is the fucking best.
he drives away. He
Ring of
drives
Honor.
away with his little head, with his thing up, and he's fucking. He holds the title up to Dixie. He says, "I'm out of here. I'm going."
On his little Batmobile.
No,
cycle.
he was in a convertible. Fucking
But
badass.
I mean, he was tearing up in Ring of Honor. He was tearing up in New Japan. He was the talk of the town. Everyone wanted to see
The
him.
bell of the ball.
Bell of the ball. Everyone wanted him to happen at the Royal Rumble, and they fucking delivered. I really wish he won the Royal Rumble that year.
It worked out all right.
His
for him.
reaction made fucking Vince fucking be like,
It was
"Hey,
awesome.
hold on a minute." There's
He's got
about this
something.
fucking...
Yeah, little-
and he comes in, he's
little
like, "You
tip-
see what I saw, Vince? Huh? That's fucking top dog shit!" And he's like, "Yeah, it's fucking dog and this fucking little dude. I like it a lot. I'll wrestle him right here in the fucking room."
And I
Didn't he
can't believe that
say he
he's
almost
been-
wrestled him or something?
I don't know about
Didn't
that.
No.
AJ say like kind of was like getting in his face and shit, and the two of them almost
No, Vince
wrestled?
was just like hyped. He's like, you're like a little fucking bulldog or something like that.
Yeah.
He's-
I thought he said they almost came to fucking like wrestle
Oh,
him
I don't know.
backstage.
So,
area.
I don't think him and Vince
I
are
would
to blow
I would
us.
take
I
AJ.
think Vince, are you kidding me? You fucking do that shit all the
Impressive.
time.
But yeah, AJ is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So to see it happen, and he's had an amazing career.
And where'd you have it, Mike? Talk about it now, since we're here.
Well, I'm not there yet.
Okay, great.
I'm
Well,
trying to stay in order.
my number 4 is, as I spoke about before, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Mhm.
And because again, those two back to back created the groundwork, which the Hogan
Yes,
turn
cheating.
fucking completed, which is, again, you kind of scoffed at it, but wrestling's never been the same. That made wrestling fucking cool. So, and I NWO for life, baby.
For life.
Hey, when I went to WCW shows, I was cheering for NWO over the fucking lame-ass WCW guys.
Mm-hmm.
Even though some of those guys are good, too. Sorry,
Depends.
you're such a little mark, dude. You were probably
Goldberg.
unbearable as a kid. Your uncle was probably like, we should just leave him here. And no, they returned you instead.
It's really fucked
No,
up.
we had fun.
Yeah. I bet you he would argue differently. Number 3.
My number 3 is Kane's debut at Bad Blood in 1997.
Significantly higher.
Of course. You get it.
One of the
You're
most
number 1.
badass fucking debuts. Coming out with the fire, ripping the cell door off is one of the coolest fucking moments. They light Undertaker on fire. Like, there's just so many good things about it. It's one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time, as we discussed.
How many stars did it get?
Not enough, probably.
I think it got 5.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Shockingly.
Oh.
That's
BG,
3 too many.
Real quick.
Kane's debut.
I'm pretty sure I know one of your top 2, but I have no clue what another one of your top 2 is. So I'm very interested to see.
I'm actually surprised that you guys don't have it.
I will say this. I will take a guess. It's 3 letters long.
What?
DDP when he was the stalker of Undertaker's wife.
DDP, yeah.
I have no idea what
100%.
I was RVD.
Oh, RVD. That was really cool. I didn't have that on.
Okay. Well,
That was a fucking
I
awesome.
legit don't care. So
You got your number 3, Don?
yeah, it's my
Really?
it's my Dualhausen one. It's my Danielson and my
Danhausen?
Adam Cole, dude. The same night I got
Yeah.
Adam Cole. The same night I
wow.
got Bryan Danielson. That night of debuts was like Adam
They did
Cole,
such a
baby,
shitty job
was
with that, really.
incredible.
Yeah, I don't have that on,
And then fucking Danielson
Dude,
coming out,
dude.
it changed my life.
They should have saved those for
They
2
shit
different
on-
shows.
Yeah, they shit on Adam Cole's debut. What do you mean?
Mhm.
No, did not.
It was a
know.
microcosm of what his
Two
AEW
night-
career would become.
it's one night- I
unfortunately.
mean, he's been injured, so it's
I
hard
know.
to say any of that.
That-
But yeah, it's one
wasn't
of,
hard at all.
one of the greatest nights of my life. Changed my life.
My number 3, I do believe this is in BG's top 2. June 7th, 2010, WWE Raw, Nexus.
Mhm. Oh, so you
Um,
do have it. Okay.
This to me...
Did not make my list.
Yeah, this was one of the coolest fucking debuts ever. This was not long after I got back into wrestling again, was watching regularly. For a time they had ECW as the 3rd brand, and that was airing Tuesday nights or some shit.
Mordecai, man, loved Mordecai.
And then out of nowhere, I felt like they switched it to NXT. I'm like, what's this NXT thing? So I was watching that every week, and it's the NXT rookies with their pros, and it's these guys basically are from Florida Championship Wrestling, including Daniel Bryan, who they're trying to get over their next big stars. And I used to watch that every week, and I thought it was a really cool show. My favorite person on there was fucking Wade Barrett. I was right about him. He's awesome. And I was really enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, main event of a Raw, all the NXT guys show up, form Nexus, fucking destroy everything. Daniel Bryan chokes Justin Roberts with his tie and gets fired for a little bit of time. They're dismantling the ring. This, to me, it's very similar to the Shield debut. It's something you never expected to happen. It's something that rarely happened in WWE, where they're giving these young guys, a lot of them unknowns, a chance to shine, a chance to be in there with top stars, and they absolutely killed it. They made it feel like it was really this rogue group taking over the show, and that was what was so cool about it. The only thing that sucks is that fucking Tampa John killed this group's momentum by insisting on beating them at SummerSlam. If that wouldn't have happened, who knows what would have happened. Wade Barrett probably would have been a multi-time world champion, and he honestly should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Cena ruined it. I can't make my list. The stink is too deep. You gotta throw this catch away.
I'm just gonna go with my top 2 because we said it. The Shield is my number 2. We discussed it. Incredible Impact.
Oh, okay.
But
I did know your top 2 then.
Nexus is number 1. I wasn't even watching at the time. I saw this the
I
next
thought you
morning.
said you only did things you were watching at the time.
But I was already
Oh, so a liar. You're already a
not a
liar.
liar. I wasn't a liar.
You're already a
But
liar.
I was already an adult fan of wrestling, not just before I was really
Hold on a
that
minute.
old.
There's never been a worse way to describe
Yeah.
I'm an adult fan of wrestling. You're like, oh, yuck.
This is the coolest fucking debut. because they go in there relatively unknown, but you did have Bryan Danielson, who I was a huge fan of in Ring of Honor, and they fuck up the number one guy. They destroy the entire ringside, which you did not see happening, destroying the mat, everything. Like Mike said, D-Bry choking out Justin Roberts, one of the greatest moments of all time, as far as I'm concerned. And he gets fucking fired for it. Like, just everything about this was so cool, so well done. And for so many years, WWE did not do a lot of things this well. And so that was why it's number one for me. I still watch that every now and then. It's so cool.
Very bad opinion.
You're an idiot.
It was awesome. Good choice, BJ.
Very bad opinion. What's your number 2 and what's your number 1, Mike?
My number 2, AJ Styles, Royal Rumble 2016.
Oof.
Oof. Why are you oofing that? That's stupid.
I didn't know you were such a big AJ fan.
Yeah, dude,
I am an AJ fan,
he
but
wasn't
it's not even
until
about.
Right now.
I am an AJ fan. It's not even
It's
about
convenient
that.
now.
It's just about how cool of a moment it was. Because
so cool.
As was mentioned, I don't think anybody ever thought he was going to be in WWE because at that time
we all said he was
not
going to. As soon as he left TNA, he was going to WWE. What are you talking about?
He did not say that.
We all did.
Said it would be cool if he was. Hope he would, but nobody said it's going to happen.
And then we got spoiled of it. It's number 6.
Okay, it's number 2. He's absolutely not the type of guy you would have ever thought Vince would like or Vince would want. But it ended up happening. He gave him a shot, and then I think he saw him, and he learned like this is a huge fucking star, and he decided to push him. Like really, AJ's greatest success. I wish Triple H would use him more. His greatest success was under
seriously.
Vince. Vince clearly fucking loved this guy, but I think it's a testament to AJ that he could be like this smaller guy from TNA, which I don't think Vince gave a shit about. He didn't know what fucking AJ Styles was doing in TNA, or probably even who AJ Styles was.
No, he did. He saw him in Japan because Andre was there before.
Oh yeah, watching Japan all the time. Andre, who died in '93. I think it's a testament to AJ that he was able to get Vince to like him and want to push him and view him as a top star. And again, we hoped for this to happen, like going into that Royal Rumble, but then to actually see it was another thing. It's like, wow, AJ Styles is fucking in WWF. Thought he was like a TNA lifer, and he ends up in WWE. That to me, I think, was one of the coolest surprises ever.
Number 6 overall. Good.
Not a AJ Styles fan. Got it.
Good. And what's your number 1?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb, Donnie.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho.
Okay. My number 1, Kane, WWF Bad Blood in Your House, 1997. We already did the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. My number 1 was the first one ever, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. And it was partially bolstered by the fact that you had that Kane debut. This couldn't have been more impactful if they tried. They were building this up for weeks and weeks and even months of Paul Bearer saying that Undertaker had a fucking brother who we thought died in the fire, but he didn't really die, and Kane's alive. Kane's coming to get you. It's like, you as a kid, you're like,
real quick, I love that kind of shit. I love Halloween.
Absolutely.
It all worked.
It was awesome.
Like, as a kid, you're like, whoa.
And this is 7 years into the character.
You're like, who the fuck's Kane? Like, what's gonna happen?
And
like, you have no
let's
idea.
give some credit. Let's give some fucking props to the real man who did a lot of that heavy lifting. Paul Bearer. That dude
100%.
did most of the
Amazing.
talking at all time. And he just was so creepy.
Friend of the show.
He talked my fucking ear off for like an hour. He was a sweetheart.
But, dude, for 7 years, you didn't know. Like, he had a fucking long-lost brother. What does he look like? What's, like, so
and
cool.
The thing you gotta remember about Undertaker is, for the first many years of his existence, they struggled to find, like, good opponents for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you gotta face fucking King Kong Bundy and Giant Gonzalez at
Hold
WrestleMania.
on.
Yeah.
KKB was fucking was big guy.
Not at that time. Not
Don't do
95.
that shit, bud.
But the goal really with this was like, we gotta basically manufacture our own fucking person to be a legitimate threat to the Undertaker. And they created this character out of thin air with an awesome storyline, and they made him look fucking amazing. It was, a great backstory. The attire, the mask, everything about it, they made him look like an absolute fucking beast. They took Isaac Yankem, DDS, who's a fucking bum, and they turned him into Kane, one of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era.
He wasn't a bum at all.
He was.
The gimmick sucked.
Rips the fucking door off the cage, goes in there, makes Undertaker look like a bitch, which nobody had really done before. They could not have executed that more perfectly.
I agree. That's number 7. My number 2 is Chris Jericho. We talked about it. I know that the follow up at times.
My number 1 is John Moxley.
But number 1.
Oh.
Changing
Not
the
Raven?
fucking game. John Moxley's AEW debut. Listen, AEW with their starting
This is
crew,
lying voice.
with their AEW.
You spit on it?
From the bottom of my heart, John Moxley, it was my favorite guy in WWE for a long period of time. I was very disenfranchised by the way they treated him.
Disenfranchised?
Yeah, I think it was poorly done how they treated him. That's not the word. I think they had made me want to disassociate. Disenfranchised.
I don't think disenfranchised is what you think it means.
I think it is.
To deprive someone the right to vote?
Yes. You did that to me.
That was such a long pause.
I don't know. So I'm disenfranchised about how that feels.
Disenchanted.
I'm
Suffrage when people are suffering.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Women's suffrage. That's what that was about.
In a
right?
way, they were.
Yeah. Yes. No. I love Mox. I love him debuting with AEW. I thought it was badass. And just a rising behind. It's just he's fucking awesome, man. Dude was a fucking incredible guy. And a super sweetheart. And awesome. I love him.
He's a super sweetheart. It was on Total Divas. Remember he went
and he didn't even beat Nikki.
He just disappeared from a dinner.
Yeah, we had to go see. That person took Renee's hat.
Remember that dickhead took a hat, so he went and was going to whoop his ass.
That's a great show. We need to bring it back.
Yeah. Well,
preferably not with Artem on it, though.
He won't be. He's going to be doing hard time.
That's hard time, Daddy.
That's hard time, Daddy. At Autumn, when he goes out and starts beating on Nikki Bella, that's hard times he's going to be serving. So, are we done?
We're done.
Okay, we're done top 10 debuts. I think
that was enjoyable. Good. If you didn't like that, you're kind of an asshole.
Oh, but honestly, for those who do listen, we do appreciate it.
We'll see.